is Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Umuganwa. The headlines. President Paul Kagame, who is on a working visit to Qatar, was received by Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad to discuss bilateral cooperation. Mayors and senior government officials from Somalia are visiting Kigali on a study tour for good governance. A multi-million shopping mall is going to be constructed on the former grounds of the Ministry of Justice. Experts have issued another red alert on the melting glaciers atop Mount Kilimanjaro. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz flew to Kiev today to meet with the Ukrainian president in a bid to show solidarity and help avert a war in Europe, following warnings that a Russian invasion could be imminent. Now the news in detail. President Paul Kagame, who is on a working visit to Qatar, was received by Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad to discuss bilateral cooperation. Rwanda and Qatar enjoy strong partnerships, cutting across different sectors of development in the recent past. The partnerships between the two countries extend to business opportunities that people can benefit from both markets through an agreement signed between Qatar Financial Center and Rwanda Finance Limited in September last year. The cooperation promotes skills development through training programs, facilitate the creation of a community between the fintech ecosystems, and continuous improvement in the financial landscape. As Qatar is preparing for FIFA World Cup 2022, a working deal has been opened for Rwandans in the hospitality sector. Graduates from the University of Tourism, Technology and Business Studies will be sent to Qatar for internships and job offers in a period of 5 years. Mayors and senior government officials from Somalia are visiting Kigali on a study tour for good governance. This is expected to provide a platform for participants to reflect on the governance structures of Somalia and pressing governance and development issues such as urbanization, decentralization, displacement, disaster management, and localization of services. During their one-week visit, the Somalia mayors will also conduct field visits in public and private institutions, among other places, to learn from Rwanda's homegrown solutions. Asha Oman Muhammad, advisor to the governor of Banadil in Somalia, says he is pleased with the way Rwanda has empowered and given women opportunities in different leadership positions, especially in the parliament.
I feel emotional when people talk about Rwanda, how many percentage of women are in the local government and how many percentage are in the parliament, 60% and 45%. That makes me feel like crying. I wish we could be like that. In Somalia, women are very strong, really, but we need to learn a lot from Rwanda.
Asha Oman Muhammad speaking. Ladislas Ngendahimana, Secretary General of the Rwanda Association of Local Government Authorities, commended Somalia authorities and the UN Habitat for selecting Rwanda to host the forum and ensured its commitment to make it successful. Women in leadership positions in Rusizi district have been advised to communicate with their spouses to avoid family conflicts. The call was made in a training seminar that brought together women in leadership and their husbands in Rusizi district to discuss ways to improve communication within their families. Mary Jacqueline, the representative of the National Women's Council in Zaha sector, and her husband believe that even in the homes of leaders, miscommunication causes conflicts. The workshop was organized by the Faith Victory Association, which helps communities to fight against domestic violence. Members of Kachira Gisau Farmers Cooperative in Nyagatare district claim that their cooperative has failed as a result of huge losses inflicted by the cooperative's former leaders. The members are asking the authorities to help them find those responsible and bring them to justice. According to the 45 remaining members, the failure of their cooperative is the result of the changes in management since its creation in 2006. This cooperative previously had 600 members and now only has 45 members. The executive secretary of Nyagatare sector, Ingabire Jenny, assured the farmers that they are going to investigate the case and find those accountable. In the Nyagatare sector, there are other cooperatives that are said to be characterized by poor performance and embezzlement of members' funds, and the sector administration has indicated that they will investigate the issue. Water running from Nyarurama Secondary School is destroying farmers' crops and roads in Waruvunane sector, Gicumbi district. If this continues, farmers are worried they are going to lose all their harvest. They are calling on the school authorities to dig trenches to slow down the water from the school. The school headmaster Komezusenge Jean-Claude, who talked to Radio Imanzi, promised the problem will be resolved within the next 7 days. A multi-million shopping mall is going to be constructed on the former grounds of the Ministry of Justice. The clearing of the area will begin in March. The shopping mall, to be named Inzovu, will feature a range of facilities including indoor gaming facilities, gaming arcades, a wide range of retailers and restaurants, among others. When complete and operational, the mall is expected to complement the tourism experience for guests in the country.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
The African Union has endorsed 2022 as the year on nutrition, seeking to strengthen the continent's resilience in food security. The United Nations has been waving the red flag about biting hunger in the Horn of Africa, where at least 13 million people are starving. The Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa report, titled Food Security Monitor for January 2022, shows that as of January 30th, 50 million people across Ethiopia, Kenya, South Sudan, Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda did not have sufficient food. The Food Security and Nutrition Working Group also reports that high food prices and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic have affected households' ability to buy food. Experts have issued another red alert on the melting glaciers atop Mount Kilimanjaro. They warned the ice sheets on the roof of Africa will likely disappear in the next 2 decades due to global warming. Other mountains in the region, which normally have ice at their summits, Mount Kenya in Kenya and Mount Rwenzori in Uganda, will suffer the same fate. The United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change says ice-capped mountains in the world were rapidly losing their water storage. The World Meteorological Organization said the loss of glaciers on Kilimanjaro and other mountains would impact tourism and agriculture. A Houthi telecommunications system, which was used to control drones, has been destroyed by the Saudi Arabia-led coalition. The coalition is fighting in Yemen against the Iran-backed Houthi. The coalition has accused the Houthi rebels of using Yemen's telecommunications ministry for hostile operations. The Saudi-led coalition targeted the Yemen capital Sana'a today in retaliation to a drone attack last week on a Saudi airport. The coalition had issued a warning ahead of the strike and called on people to leave civilian areas the rebels are using for military purposes. The Houthis have frequently sent drones and fired missiles into Saudi Arabia, targeting its airports and oil installations. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has appointed former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf as co-head of an advisory board for a new global initiative. Ms. Leaf will co-lead the high-level advisory board of the Our Common Agenda, an initiative of the Secretary General that is geared towards accelerating the achievement of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Ms. Leaf's co-chair is the former Swedish Prime Minister Stefan Löfven. The initiative, according to the United Nations, is an agenda of action designed to strengthen and accelerate multilateral agreements, particularly the 2030 Agenda, and make a tangible difference in people's lives. South Korea will begin giving out fourth doses of COVID-19 vaccines this month and supply millions of additional home test kits to ease shortages amid a surge in Omicron infections. The surge has pushed daily cases to records, but widespread vaccination with faster booster shots received by more than 57% of the population of 52 million has helped limit deaths and serious infections. The Minister of the Ministry of Health, Kondok, says high-risk groups will be the first to get a fourth dose, in effect a second booster shot. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz flew to Kiev today to meet with the Ukrainian president in a bid to show solidarity and help avert war in Europe following warnings that a Russian invasion could be imminent. He pressed Russia to dial down pressure on Ukraine, warning that any further military aggression would have heavy consequences for Moscow. This comes after satellite images surfaced showing deployments of additional troops and military equipment at several strategic locations along the Ukrainian border. Western countries are winding down their diplomatic missions and urging their citizens to leave immediately. Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi. The Rwanda Stock Exchange Market Report for today, 14th February 2022. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 31,090,500 Rwandan francs from 126,900 shares traded in two deals on the equities market, while the fixed income market remained quiet. Bank of Kigali counter closed at 245 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 31,090,500 Rwandan francs from 126,900 shares traded in two deals. The equities counters closed as follows. Brandirwa closed the counter at 125 Rwandan francs, I&M Bank at 45 Rwandan francs, Simerwa at 120 Rwandan francs, MTN Rwanda at 180 Rwandan francs, Equity Bank at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchuri Supermarket at 104 Rwandan francs, and RH Buffalo closed the counter at 526 Rwandan francs as the market closed. Currency market review of today. The Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.8 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 9 Rwandan francs. Tanzanian shilling buying price was 0.43 Rwandan francs and selling price was 0.44 Rwandan francs. The Ugandan shilling buying price was 0.28 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 0.29 Rwandan francs. The Burundian franc buying price was 0.5 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 0.51 Rwandan francs. The US dollar buying price was 1,004 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,024 Rwandan francs. The British pound buying price was 1,359 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,386 Rwandan francs. The euro buying price was 1,338 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,161 Rwandan francs. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.